What's going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings future franchise quarterback, or maybe even quarterback right now. JJ McCarthy, the pride of Michigan, fed the local media jackals on Friday. Had some interesting to say, very wide-ranging conversation with the Michigan man himself. The way he led off, so you see he's wearing a shirt dedicated to Khyree, number 31, and he opened, this is from Alec Lewis, JJ McCarthy, I appreciate the Will family, Kevin O'Connell, and what the Vikings are doing for Khyree. And he mentioned what the Vikings have done for his family, helping pay expenses, paying out his signing bonus, as well as having the season dedicated to Khyree. The Vikings did a class job. They're a first-class organization, so expected nothing less. But that does stand out. And also, McCarthy, called Khyree his brother, and again, just speaks to Khyree, how quickly he was able to form these bonds and friendships, and the impression that he really made on people. Kevin Seifert, who's not Carl Gershwin, McCarthy says Kevin O'Connell keeps telling him the process is the progress. So, of course, I mean, all these self-improvement cliches are true, and not seeing the forest through the trees, and don't sweat about things that you can't control, and all the mantras and cliches. But I actually like this. The process is the progress, because control what you can control. And can McCarthy control if he's going to win the starting job and play as a rookie? No. But what he can control is every single day, every single practice, every single meeting, film session, etc., just getting a little bit better and doing his job. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, and that's what McCarthy's doing. And so he's really interesting. As Wes Phillips talked about, how he has a Vitruvian Man tattoo. He's a big Leonardo da Vinci fan, and he's mature beyond his years. He's only 21 years young, and also he's very worldly. He has a very good perspective on things. Like, he's not your normal snot-nosed 21-year-old kid despite the broccoli haircut, and also he's very introspective about things. He's super interesting. He really is, man. Next couple of quotes. Vikes fan page, McCarthy, quote, I feel like I've been here for a year already. Being around this building the entire summer has grown my comfortability exponentially. That's too. Not all rookies hung around the facilities over the summer, and he was able to get that work in over those 6 weeks, bonding with some of his teammates who hung around the facilities as well, plus grinding in the film room, working on what O'Connell, Phillips, McCown gave him to work on, which is great. Also, Alec Lewis, McCarthy called CJ Ham Papa Ham, so that'll be that's a good nickname. I like it. Then Purple Persuasion. Speaking with reporters, McCarthy says he's loving the pass-heavy offense. This offense is a lot more pass-heavy, which I love. Subtle dig at his guy jumping Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines. Of course, it's pretty easy to run the ball when you're averaging 8 yards per carry and you're just completely shredding Washington and their run defense. But basically, over McCarthy's 2 years as a starter, it was Blake Corum and company just running the ball. And that's what happens when you can have an offensive line like Michigan had, just out physical everyone up front. The game gets really easy for a quarterback. And also, so McCarthy, he really opened up about some of his mental health concerns that he's had, and how so during the college football playoff national title game, everyone's clowning him. McCarthy sitting out on the goalpost having a meditation session, which I sort of get. He could have meditated in the locker room. Did out in front of all the camera and stuff. But it is a really interesting juxtaposition, just because out on the field with all the cameras, all the media, that's chaos. But finding inner peace and all that, I get it now. Purple Persuasion again. Meditation is my anchor for sure, and I do that every single morning. And McCarthy really talked at length about how he did suffer depression senior year of high school at IMG Academy, and how he was able to really take meditation, really get serious about it, and how it really helped him. And someone who, I'm a bad practitioner of meditation, because I just sort of my mind wanders too much. I think that's what happens when you don't sleep and have too much caffeine. But I really respect that. It's really good. Speaking of respect, so the Papa Ham thing came from someone asked him about his workouts with Thielen, which Thielen posted on social medias and all that stuff. And it was more than just pitch and catch sessions, just throwing the ball around the lot. So McCarthy met Thielen through CJ Ham, Papa Ham, and Thielen actually walked McCarthy through some of the intricacies of the Kevin O'Connell offense, which is fantastic, man. That's really freaking awesome by Thielen. Thielen, of course, was in the O'Connell offense in 2022, 2 years ago. So he still is up to date with a lot of the terminology, verbiage, tendencies, etc. And McCarthy really credited Thielen for helping him get a leg up during the offseason. So, I mean, that's something that Thielen didn't have to do. Like we said, he could have caught passes with anyone during the offseason, but to specifically walk him through and really help out McCarthy, that's awesome. And also, I think it's another sign that maybe Thielen's returning, maybe forcing that trade, maybe forcing getting cut by Carolina. Let's go, man. But speaking of receivers as well, Vikes fan page, Vikings with wide receiver Justin Jefferson and JJ McCarthy have been spending time together after practice to go over plays. McCarthy, quote, him telling me what he's thinking and showing me how we can attack this coverage or technique better, and that's something that is invaluable. And, of course, McCarthy and Jefferson, that's going to be the battery going forward. That's going to be the pitcher and the receiver, as well as, they have their lockers next to each other in the locker room. And, Jefferson, he had a great relationship with Kirk Cousins, and he wasn't throwing the ball to himself, breaking those records through 3 and 4 seasons. But McCarthy's the dude now, and it's going to be really good. Yeah. And lastly, of course, and again, the guy is a walking cliche, but in a good way. I don't mean that disparagingly. Plus, he's super slick. I feel like if McCarthy wanted to get into politics after this, I feel like he could do it. He's very, almost seems like these answers are rehearsed. Although that would not shock me. JJ McCarthy, his fiance's got flashcards. What if you get this question at the presser? I feel your pain. Something like that. He's really smooth with the answers, even though a lot of it is player speak, coach speak. Quote, I've been focusing on getting better every single day. And when the time comes, the time comes. Talk about starting. I'm training every day so that when the time comes, I will be ready. And that's basically talk about getting better every day. Gave a lot of props to the other 3 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. They called Josh McCown his older brother, which it's kind of funny, man. Josh McCown would probably take that. So there you go. But either way, super impressive on the mic, and also returns through the first couple days of practice. McCarthy, he looks much more comfortable than he did at OTAs, but of course that's going to happen when you put in 6 extra weeks of work, and he's been dialed in. And Darnold's look good, man, but JJ McCarthy's the future, and I wouldn't rule it out. I think McCarthy's going to have a shot in this mother. But that's it. JJ McCarthy feeding the local media jackals on Friday. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. You guys know what to do. Skol, production value.